Sometimes at night when I'm flipping through the channels on my TV, I'll come across a movie, and it's probably one I've seen 100 times before, but there are a couple of movies out there that I always will just stop and watch. The Shawshank Redemption, The Fugitive, Ocean's 11. Those are a couple that when I come across them, I stop and watch. Another one of these is Braveheart. My favorite scene in Braveheart is when William Wallace is trying to instigate the Scottish revolutionaries to fight against the British Army. And there are a number of memorable moments within that scene, but one that always sticks out to me is Wallace's cry of freedom. As an actor, I think Mel Gibson got this really right. He really captured the emotion and the hope, the pride, the authentic, sheer release that comes from that feeling of freedom. Well, on his radio show, financial expert Dave Ramsey often celebrates with people when they pay off their debt. When they have called in to proclaim that they're debt-free, he has them shout out a debt-free scream. Within that, then, when they're shouting, "We're debt-free," then Ramsey plays that clip from Braveheart of William Wallace shouting, "Freedom." I think it's fitting because when there is that kind of freedom, that pure release of pride that comes from getting that debt monkey off your back, it's authentic, it's true. That's exactly what it is, freedom. And I suspect that cry is even more meaningful when you've paid off $250,000 as compared to maybe just $25,000. Well, this Sunday we're going to be looking at a story of a sinful woman from Luke chapter 7. And within this story is a little parable Jesus tells about two debtors. One debtor owed 500 denarii, while another owed just 50 denarii. A denarii would be worth about a day's wage, so that meant that the one owed about 2 months' worth of work, while the other owed almost 2 years of work. And yet the creditor forgave the debts of both. Well, after telling this story, Jesus then asked Simon the Pharisee, "Which one does the creditor love more?" And Simon responded, "It must be the one with the larger debt." To which Jesus said, "You've judged correctly." Jesus illustrated that those who have had a greater debt canceled will love more than those who've had just a small debt forgiven. Then Jesus goes on to apply that to the story of the sinful woman, which we'll be looking at on Sunday. Well, we're going to dig into this passage because we want to examine the bold and audacious actions this sinful woman took. We want to see the concern that the respected and respectable men gathered there had. And we want to learn from what Jesus said and did in response. Even learning a simple way that we can remind ourselves of that learning each week when we gather for worship. And so, between now and then, I have a couple things I want you to do. One, I want you to write down 3 or 4 things you need freedom from. Maybe it's debt. Maybe it's the emotional baggage of a previous relationship. Maybe it's just a list of previous missteps. Then imagine what it would feel like to have that removed, that burden that's weighing you down. And then finally, start thinking about who you know that might be struggling with the same burdens. What might be weighing them down as well. Because I think if you'll do these things, you'll find even more meaningful experience when we gather for worship around Word and Table this Sunday morning. See you then.